Hi, George here with some quick and easy ways to improve photographs inside of Photoshop Elements. And we'll be using over here under where it says Enhance and the Smart Brush tool. With the Smart Brush tool, you have two brushes, the Smart Brush tool and the Detail Smart Brush tool. Most of the time you want the Smart Brush tool. I like using this with a soft edge brush. Click on Brush Settings, and at the very top here, set hardness all the way to the left. It's a soft edge. And your first brush will make a new selection. Add to your selection or subtract from your selection right down here. Detail brush allows you to just get in a lot tighter with that. And in here, there's quite a few different options for this all-purpose, artistic, black and white, color, lighting, photographic. And the one I like here is Portrait. And it gives you 7 different tools in here. The first one is for brightening eyes. The next one is for bringing out details. The next one, lighten skin tones. Next one here is for make lips red. Next one, whiten teeth, and then darken skin tones, and finally, whiten teeth more. Let's start off up here with brighten eyes, and it's going to come in and just make a little section like that. We'll add to that over here. Let's now subtract from this a little bit. I'll just refine this. A bit much on this one, so I'm going to come in and switch over to our Detail Smart Brush. Much smaller size, and just come in and add to this. There we go. And notice how much brighter it's making the eyes look. Possibly a bit too much, but you can control that over here right-hand side. Notice that this comes in as a new layer up here. And the layer has a layer thumbnail. Double-click on this, and in here, I can control exactly how much that is being applied. So I have a lot of control over this. So here's before, and here's after, just by controlling our settings in here. Just get just the right setting, but just a little bit of lightening. That usually works best. Let's back off on the white a bit here. Check that. Okay, just a little bit more. There we go, adding a lot of nice brightness into the eyes here with complete control. That's the important part because it's on its own layer. So there's without and here's with. Let's now take a look at the teeth down here. Do the same thing, go down to your background layer. Let's change this over here to the whitened teeth. I'll go back to the Smart Brush. And work my size down a bit. You can bring it down right here if you want to, like that. And it's going to go through and try to find where the teeth are. Just pull across like that. It is a Smart Brush. There we go. Again, it brings it in as a new layer up here. There's before, here's after. Looks pretty good. Let's just do Control D to delete that selection. So before and after. And again, you have control over that because we have control of that layer. Opacity at 50%. I can go a lot brighter or a lot less on this. Up to you. And since it's a regular layer in here, I'll put this back to 50%. We can get even more control by adding an adjustment layer on top of this layer. Go up here to Layer, come down to New Adjustment Layer, and Levels. Use Previous Layer right there, choose OK. And now I have complete control over that color. I'll go clear to the right side here. Here's to the left side. Notice that I have a full range now in here to control the brightness on the teeth. And by tweaking these things, you can get it just exactly the way you want. You can lighten up the white part of this with keeping the darker edges and the gums a bit darker, and then we can get just the brightness of the white right there. So again, complete control over the amount of brightness on this. Let's come back down here to our background layer. Come back over here. We have Bring Out Details, which might be useful on the eyes. And I have my brush already set, and I'm just going to brush in here right around the eyes like that. And it's going right around this eye here. And here's before and after. Notice how we're getting more contrast on. This is basically a contrast brush. But do Control D, and if you want to bring that in a little bit, although that looks pretty good, it's a bit much right down over here. I can control that. Since we're using a layer mask, you can control your layer mask. White shows, black hides. So I'll go to my black paintbrush right here. The soft edge brush. I'm just going to come in and tighten up the edge of that one control right here by painting out a little bit of that layer mask. So there's before and here's after. We've added a lot in there and really beefed up that contrast on that. Let's go back to our Smart Brush again. And here we have darkened skin tones. And I'm using a Smart Brush. So you can just brush clear around like this if you want to. Get the whole face in here. There we go. Here's without and here's with. It's actually bringing in a lot of color. Notice right here where it says Layer Thumbnail, double click on this. And this brings up our photo filter. And I can then control the density in here of the photo filter, more or less, and add in a bit more color this way. And we also can, of course, adjust our opacity on this. There we go. So there's before and here's after. Bringing a bit more contrast on this one and a bit more coloration on this as well. I'm going to pull this layer down below here. So you can shuffle the order of these layers if you want to. You also can, interestingly enough, use blend modes on these things. This is a soft light blend mode. Here's overlay. Here's a darker color. Here's a color burn. That's kind of weird. Here's a hard light. So the blend modes also work on these different layers, giving you even more control. Now with the blend modes, if you click in here and click off again, you can use the wheel on your mouse to scroll through the different blend modes until you see one that you like. I'll just quickly scroll down on these things and see if anything looks real nice. Okay, overlay is adding in a lot more contrast. I think I kind of like that one. It's too bright, but it's doing a nice job. Soft light is the default. I think hard light or possibly overlay, and then I'll back off on the opacity on that. It gives me just a bit more contrast, and then Control D to deselect. Let's now compare before and after. I'll go to the background layer here, right click. Let's duplicate this layer. I'll pull up one up on top. There's before, and here's after. Now, if you don't want to see these little icons in here, these are the controls for those different smart brushes. Just click off the smart brush onto something else. Those get hidden. There we go. So here's before and here's after. Of course, I can take this a lot further if I came back in with more of my standard layers, such as the adjustment layers, hue saturation for more saturation, levels for adjusting the contrast, some of those things. But it's a great tool to know about if you want to have more control over some of these real fast and easy adjustments onto your photographs. If you want to learn more about how to use Photoshop Elements, I have a complete training course for this. I'll put a link for that at the top of the description. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Also subscribe. You don't want to miss any videos coming out in the future, and I'll see you next time.